bookworms! Today I'm going to be telling you about the 10 books that I am planning on rereading in 2016. I mentioned in my last video that one of the reading challenges that I signed up for this year is actually a reread challenge because I always find that once I reread a book, I tend to appreciate and love it even more than I did the first time. See Harry Potter, which is honestly one of the only book series that I have continuously just reread and reread throughout my life. I think I've always had a strange relationship with rereading because there are just so many books out there that I want to read that I feel almost guilty about rereading, which I shouldn't, because I don't feel guilty about rewatching the same TV shows and movies all the time. I cannot even tell you the number of times that I have seen Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. So, and every time I don't feel guilty about watching it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to watch. So I want to have that same kind of attitude when it comes to books. So anyway, I have committed to rereading 10 books this year, and I'm going to tell you what those are right now. You'll have to bear with me. I'm going to be a little bit lazy about this. So I started rereading Harry Potter last year. I got through books 1 to 4, and I didn't get to reread Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, and The Deathly Hallows. So those are going to be the first 3 books that I'm planning on rereading in 2016, which I have right here: Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and BB-8 is kind of covering Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, but that is where they are. So that is 3 of them. The next 2 books that I'm planning on rereading are part of a series. It's a series where I am just praying that we will get a 3rd book for, because it's one of my favorite series. I read it a while ago and I really, really just want more. So they are The Archived by Victoria Schwab and The Unbound by Victoria Schwab. These books follow a girl named Mackenzie who is a keeper, and she's in charge of collecting souls who escape from this library of dead people. And she lives in this hotel, and they're very creepy, but they're Victoria Schwab, so obviously the writing is incredible. And I just love Mackenzie as the main character. I absolutely adore her love interest. He's probably my #1 book boyfriend. Love him so much. So I just love them, and I feel I devoured them so quickly, and I really just want to take more time and just read them again and just be in that world. And another thing that I really want to do this year is I want to try to start annotating some of my books. So I want to get those little cute post-it flag note things, and just stick them in pages where I feel there's a passage that's very meaningful to me, or a quote that I really like, or just any kind of thing that I'm noticing while I'm reading, so I can, easily reference and go back to it at some point. The next book that I'm planning on rereading is Peter and the Starcatchers, which is by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. I read this entire series and I really, really loved it, but the first one, Peter and the Starcatchers, is still my favorite of the series, so this is just one that I want to reread because it's really good and I love Peter Pan, and why not? The next 2 books that I'm planning on rereading are a duology, and they are To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han and P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I read these books over the past 2 years. I think I read P.S. I Still Love You came out last year, so I read that last year, and then I read this one the year before, and I just really love them. I love Jenny Han's writing. I feel these are books that I'm probably going to reread in the summertime, just because they're so light and fun, and they're just really enjoyable, and I really like the characters in them, so I figured, again, this is just something that I love, so why wouldn't I want to reread it? The next book that I'm planning on rereading is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I was actually struggling on which book to show you because I have 4 copies of Fangirl. So this is the one that I bought originally and read originally, so I want to read a different copy of Fangirl that I already own, even though obviously, it's going to be the same exact thing. I could either read the yellow copy, the dark pink copy, or the light pink copy. Chances are that I will end up reading the light pink copy just because light pink is my favorite color. They re-released these and they have fan art in them, and it's just so pretty. I just love this. But one of the reasons that I really want to reread Fangirl, besides loving it to death, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell was one of my favorite books of 2015. So I just want to go back and reread Fangirl because I think it would be really fun, especially now that I have their story to go back and to just read Kath's other fan fiction, like between the different sections. Because I know a lot of people didn't really enjoy the fan fiction parts as much in this book as they did as Carry On, because Carry On is just that, and it's wonderful. But I think that I'll just get even more out of it, and like just having like more history of these characters is gonna make me love it. I already love it, but it's gonna make me love it more. And the last book that I want to reread is another one that I am being lazy about because it's over here and it's underneath all of these pop figures that I don't feel like taking off and then having to put back on. So that book is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. That was probably my favorite book that I read in 2014. So I really want to go back and reread it because I just loved it so much. And after reading the second one, I want to go back to the first one and reread it and just see like more connections throughout the stories. Patrick Rothfuss is somebody that definitely writes with like he tells you a lot of what's going to happen. So I want to go back and see like the things that were in the first book that I was anticipating in the second book that now have happened. And then the things that I haven't read yet that will be in the third book at some point, which cannot come soon enough. I think it's called Doors of Stone, and supposedly it's going to be published in 2016. So that will just help get me back up to speed on the series. Not that I even need it because I feel like I remember every detail because I just loved it like so much. And I've gotten so many people to read that book, but it's amazing. So those are the 10 books that I am planning to reread throughout the entirety of 2016. If I really like rereading and really like, you know, doing the annotations and everything that I'm planning on doing with these, there's a chance that I might end up rereading even more than I was planning to, which would be so awesome. Let me know if you're planning on rereading any books this year and just your thoughts on rereading in general. And I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!